Me tell you something uncomfortable. Most people aren't broke because they don't earn enough. They're broke because they've been played by their own psychology. And the tragic part, they're still playing along thinking they're winning. I've spent 8 decades watching intelligent people, engineers, doctors, lawyers work themselves into exhaustion while staying financially mediocre. It's not an income problem, it's a thinking problem. And thinking problems are the most expensive kind. The middle class has mastered one devastating art: looking rich while staying average. Nice cars financed at rates they don't understand. Kitchen renovations paid for with home equity lines. Vacations funded by credit cards that charge interest. Most people can't calculate. They call this lifestyle. I call it slow motion financial suicide with excellent staging. You see, the system does want you rich. It wants you comfortable. Comfortable enough to keep consuming, just anxious enough to keep working. The bank smiles when you sign the mortgage. The government collects when you earn. The corporations sell you another shiny object when you're bored. Everyone's getting rich except you, and you're too busy upgrading your prison to notice the bars. Here's the truth nobody wants to hear. Wealth is about what you earn. It's about what's left after you subtract stupidity. The middle class calls their mortgage an investment, their car a necessity, their credit card rewards free money. That's not financial literacy. That's self-delusion with paperwork. When I was young during the Depression, people saved first and spent later. They understood something fundamental. Money doesn't care about your feelings. Today's middle class does the opposite. They spend first and pray the future will somehow be richer. They've confused motion with progress, activity with achievement. You know what happens when an entire society lives beyond its means? It doesn't become prosperous. It becomes a collection of well-dressed slaves, not to kings, but to creditors. Smart people work hour weeks just to maintain the consequences of their own bad decisions. They don't own their homes, their mortgages own them. They don't drive their cars, their loans drive their choices. That's not success. That's a treadmill with marble flooring, and the middle class keeps running faster, wondering why they never arrive anywhere. It is like alcohol. 1 glass feels harmless, 2 makes you social, and by the 5th, you're making stupid promises you can't keep. The middle class calls it leverage. I call it self-imposed servitude. They borrow to look successful instead of being successful. They think they're playing offense, but they're really cornered on defense, paying interest to people who were smarter than them. It's a transfer of wealth from the impatient to the patient. Mortgage, student loan, car loan, credit card. These are the 4 horsemen of financial mediocrity. Optionality, that's what wealth really buys. The ability to walk away, to say no, to not care what the market, your boss, what the bank thinks. You can't have optionality when your life is puzzled to creditors. The middle class has turned the word loan into a love language. They'll borrow for college, a wedding, furniture, even a vacation. Then they brag about their credit score like it's a badge of honor. Your credit score measures how well you've played by the lender's rules. It's not intelligence, it's compliance. Comfort is the new poverty. Most people don't get trapped because they're dumb. They get trapped because they're comfortable enough not to change. Every time income rises, they reset comfort to a higher level. Every new gadget, every subscription, every upgrade costs focus, and focus is the real capital of a rational mind. The middle class has built an economy around laziness. Comfort turns sharp minds into dull ones. Discomfort is the seed of growth. Every good decision I ever made started from irritation. The middle class calls discomfort stress, and they medicate it, avoid it, outsource it. The rich call discomfort tuition. The middle class doesn't just want to live well, they want to look like they live better than everyone else. Most people don't buy a car, they buy attention. They don't buy a house, they buy approval. And that's why they'll always be poor. Social media made this disease terminal. The stage is your feet, the costume is your possessions. The applause is fake, but addictive. True status comes from control over your time, choices, emotions. Stop performing, stop chasing validation, stop buying symbols, and start buying options. Home ownership is one of the most effective financial sedatives ever invented. A house keeps people working, borrowing, and staying put. Owning too much house ties up your capital, your energy, and your freedom. The rich don't brag about their homes, they brag about the deals they passed on. A humble home with peace and savings beats a mansion with debt and anxiety every single time. Most people don't have an investment problem, they have an impatience problem. Wealth isn't built by genius, it's built by sitting still while everyone else loses their minds. Spend less than you earn. Invest what you understand. Wait patiently while compounding works quietly in your favor. But the middle class chases excitement instead, spreading ignorance across multiple positions. Curiosity requires humility. The market punishes arrogance and crushes ignorance. Envy is the most contagious disease on earth. Unlike the flu, it kills slowly in installments. The middle class competes with each other, not the rich, and they all lose. Social media makes envy scalable. Every scroll is a reminder that someone else seems richer, happier, thinner, younger. Envy drains focus, clouds judgment, and keeps you trapped in the hurt. The cure is gratitude and discipline. The deadliest trap is thinking you're fine. Most of the middle class isn't desperate, they're comfortable. Stability is not security. One job loss, one illness, one market crash, comfort evaporates overnight. You are not trapped by circumstances, you're trapped by your decisions. Every fortune starts with one decision: to stop being ignorant, comfortable, and average. Stop chasing luxury, start building liquidity. Stop showing off, start showing discipline. Spend less than you earn. Invest what you save. Avoid stupidity. Repeat for decades. The middle class will keep waiting for a miracle. The rich stopped making excuses. They looked in the mirror and made different choices. Wealth is mysterious. The habits that build it are boring. Compound interest doesn't negotiate. Time doesn't wait. Are you building freedom or just decorating your cage? The doors have been open the whole time. Most people just never look. Will you finally walk out?